we have the Obama administration, which was put into office on the pledge and the promise of openness and transparency and full disclosure and a new change in government. And one of their biggest issues is the issue of climate change and whether we should move a massive reorganization of our entire economy because of the CO2 emissions. In order to move forward, the EPA administrator had to find an endangerment finding, which is a legal term meaning the EPA administrator had to declare that there was an endangerment to human health, and therefore we needed to regulate this substance, in this case CO2. There is a group within the EPA that's tasked with doing some of the economic and environmental analysis, and a career scientist in that group prepared an extensive report, close to 100 pages in length, in which he found that there were very serious concerns about going forward with the finding of endangerment. And that's the substance of this press conference, is how that report was suppressed, censored, prevented from going through the review process. If you go out to the Jefferson Memorial, which is my favorite memorial here in Washington, you go in, you see the statue of Thomas Jefferson, you look up around the ceiling, and you see a quote from Jefferson, and he says, "I am unalterably opposed to every form of tyranny over the mind of man." He said that several hundred years ago. Here we have an administration who campaigned and came into office pledging a new direction for America, openness and transparency, right out of the box, one of their signature issues. And I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this email again. "The time for such discussion of fundamental issues has passed. The administrator and the administration has decided to move forward on endangerment, and your comments do not help the legal or policy case for this decision. I can only see one impact of your comments given where we are in the process, and that would be a very negative impact on our office." Here's a man, a career scientist over 30 years, doing his job in the National Center for Environmental Economics, and his report, which has not been officially released because it's detrimental to a predetermined decision that is adverse to what the Obama administration wants to do, is suppressed. Now, if that's not tyranny over the mind of man, I don't know what is. We have this vote scheduled tomorrow. I would hope that in light of this information, the administration, the Speaker, would postpone the vote, let us get the report, let there be appropriate hearings on this report in the various committees of jurisdiction, and then schedule the vote. At the minimum, we deserve to know what that report is. Now, my staff has seen a copy of the report. We were able to get them to look at it very briefly, but we've not been able officially to get a copy. And I think given just the tenor of the emails, at a minimum, the President should release that report. He's holding a major press conference in about 30 minutes. Hopefully he might comment on that. Carol Browner, his environmental czar, is wandering the halls of Congress. I saw her on the elevator coming up to the press conference. I did not invite her to the press conference, perhaps I should have. But I did tell her that the general subject of the press conference, and her body language indicated that she was not very pleased.